Are we seeing ICP for real or what?
Dude, it's kind of scary to go to a Juggalo show not knowing the Juggalo stuff.
They were playing in
They're gonna just
before
all feel
a wrestling
offended.
show, and it was the same day I had something else going on. I was so pissed.
I watched the Vice documentary, bro. They get angry as fuck at niggas that don't really fuck with ICP.
I think if we
have not for you.
Look, we could.
That's what they feel like. It's like some gang shit. Like they
Why don't you guys really go balls in the water and record it?
and see how it goes. Make up whole Juggalo identities. That shit would be epic. That shit would be hilarious. Come on, do it for the pod. For the pod. Hipsters. This week we're going to be talking about Vince McMahon's new football league, the XFL. We're going to be talking with Jeremy, Antoine, David, and Connor.
The Extreme Football League.
The Extreme Football League.
The Extra Football League.
It is very extra.
Vince McMahon's so extra.
I didn't realize when we decided to do this topic that there was already an XFL one time.
Yeah.
What?
So you didn't even know that?
Nope.
Oh, no, I knew that there was an XFL that been out before, tried to come out.
It was Vince McMahon's.
Yeah.
2001.
So he's already attempted this?
Yeah. I believe it was tripled the amount of the investment in it this time because he didn't put enough money in it.
First time he was like, yo, I got $100, guys. Let's start a fucking football league.
Also, it's just it was like, from what I understand, just from the rules onward, just a bad idea. Because anyone who really wants to make money and is good at football is playing in the NFL right now. Or really good at football. Yeah. And then...
but there's still a lot of really good players playing in Canada.
Sure.
They have a whole league.
Sure. But then you also look at the rules and they're way worse for the players because they're way more designed to injure you.
That's how these rules are for his new XFL league, too.
Okay. So from what I know about the original one, they decided who went first by having the two people run at each other at full sprint or something like that.
Oh, dude, that's what I said would have been the greatest way to start the game. Set the ball in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's
or set it at one end of the field and let everybody run from one touchdown to the other. First person to get it.
But that's how you break your neck or some shit.
But it's a part of it, you know?
But
you accept the terms or you don't.
The NFL doesn't play doesn't pay not famous players enough to get injured, right? Mm-hmm. The XFL will absolutely not pay enough to be worth breaking your neck.
You're right, but when
I feel like you got it wrong, man. I feel like they put a lot of money. They're on ESPN and Fox Sports.
Well, they had poker on ESPN
the first
before,
year's
dude.
pay is not going to be that
popular, though. I used to watch poker on ESPN.
It's only going to be $50,000 for the players for the first year.
That ain't shit.
That's already locked in stone.
All right. Let's organize this discussion a little bit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I feel like we're talking about a couple things right here. So where do we start with the XFL?
So we should probably give a broad overview of the XFL.
If anyone hasn't heard of the Extreme Football League before, it's basically like arena football, something like that.
Are they in an arena? I think it's outdoor football because arena football is like a smaller field.
Yeah, it's still going to be 100 yards from what I was reading.
No downtime. Football.
No kneeling.
No extra point kicking.
No hip hop style quarterbacks will be in the XFL.
No, I did read some shit like that.
No. Okay, so the XFL is Vince McMahon,
if you don't know who Vince McMahon is,
I don't know what to call the owner of WWE wrestling.
He's the chairman.
And
the CEO.
I don't know if he. I guess he is the CEO. I forget.
He's the villain
because it's like
villain of WWE.
What if they just did a really great job at making us think that he actually runs something, but literally runs nothing, and he's just a character?
That would be wild. But I've heard enough people who don't work for the company anymore to be like, Vince McMahon's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, so he's like the CEO. He's a dude.
Okay, I don't know if he
boss man. He's boss man in WWE.
I don't know if his title is officially CEO, but he is
it's like boss man,
the owner operator.
He's the head of he's the face of it.
Way more involved with that company than he really should be on every minute detail.
I feel like you guys are hating on Vince McMahon. It's his company.
I love to hate him.
Who watches wrestling here?
I used to watch it.
But the way, from an outside view, it's his company. I like when people are.
It's a publicly traded company now.
Yeah.
It's not his company.
But it was.
He's the face of it, though.
So
he runs the operation.
I know more about Vince McMahon from wrestling as I think most people would. When a new script for their pre-written show comes out, he gets it, looks at it, white markers, fucking everything on the script, basically puts his own shit on there, and then the writers don't have time to write anything else for it. So it just gets put out on like in the ring and it's awful. And that's how it is every fucking week because he's backstage at every show. I think if he's doing the third show now, he's backstage at 3 shows a week doing like day of script edits.
Yeah, he's like, man, this shit ain't gonna go out hot like this.
But it's awful. He's a terrible writer. He's got no taste.
I used to love it.
He was
I haven't watched it since I was young, but it was great.
In 2019, he was doing proctology jokes like it's the funniest shit in the world.
Maybe he was just like looking at the show when he let them write it and was like, yo, this is bullshit.
Possibly.
I can do better than
who
this.
could say? But also at some point, the people performing, the wrestlers are like, they were doing that shit on their own for years and people like them because they were good at doing that shit. Anyway, that's a digression. That's where he's known from.
Well, that's Vince McMahon. If you didn't know Vince McMahon.
In the, what was it, in the 90s? 2001?
2001 was when the first XFL launched.
Yeah, so he had this idea, this harebrained scheme for a more extreme NFL. I don't know, was there something happening in the NFL at the time that made him make the one originally?
No, that's why they say it failed last time, was because the NFL was doing pretty good back then.
I mean, that might have been when they first started implementing more safety rules, though. I'm not for sure on that, but
I mean, that's definitely why it's coming out now.
well, yeah. But that might have been when it first started.
I'd argue with that, but we'll get to that later.
So the XFL back then was supposed to be like essentially the WWE version of football. They added mid-game interview. Like
That's cool, though.
It is cool. Like if they had that kind of shit, like that's like maybe it could be a little interesting.
That's what I want.
Didn't they have some weird ass shit with the cheerleaders?
Yeah, essentially creating storylines with the cheerleaders and the fucking.
See, he's. I guess Antoine has one out in this argument with me because he's an innovator. Because that's just reality TV, and that
It is just reality
shit blew
TV.
up.
Mm-hmm.
He got there too early, though.
So most of the difference between the XFL, like the new XFL and the current NFL, is going to be the difference in the rules. Like you're able to you can pass twice, essentially.
Okay.
It's unlimited forward passing.
Not from what I was reading. What I was reading was saying.
Well, I mean, like they call it, that's what they call it. But like you could pass forward as many times as you want behind the line of scrimmage.
Behind the line of scrimmage,
Oh, okay.
right. Yes. When David was explaining to me earlier, he was like saying that it was past line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's what I
If you
thought.
could pass the line of scrimmage, just keep passing forward, that would make the game super lit. The
Right.
plays would be
That's
so
what
much
I thought.
different.
I was like, what?
I'm here for the Vince McMahon talk. I don't know dick about football. No, I mean I've seen football before. I've watched it, but I don't think I have anything especially poignant to add on that front.
Jeremy's sharp on his football right now from the Madden players.
From the Madden playing it. That was the one thing that excited me about the actual rule changes, was that I thought I was going to be able to play a game where I could pass the line of scrimmage and still throw the ball.
Well, you're
about
thinking ahead. You're thinking about the XFL video game.
Oh, that's coming for sure.
You know it.
Even if it's a shit game, it's coming.
It is coming.
I can see it right now. $29.99 on the shelves.
I want to make a rugby video game that's like it's like Madden until you start fighting another guy and then it becomes Street Fighter.
No, then it becomes fucking Fight Night.
Mortal Kombat. You're just punching the guy's head off.
Fucking okay. So then there's the rule changes. The kickoffs are going to be different. Extra points are also going to be different. Like,
No kicking for extra points.
no kicking for extra points. You'll be able to go either 2, 5, or 10 yards. A 2-yard extra point will be worth 1 point. A 5-yard extra point will be worth 2 points, and a 10-yard extra point will be worth 3 points. The thing about it is, though, if the defense stops you at that point, they get the points that you're trying to get.
Oh, shit. So you're not just missing points, you're giving them points.
Yes, you're giving them points.
Interesting.
Oh.
So is there no field goals at all?
No.
No field goals at all.
Just
Then-
the distance that you pick.
Well, okay, I actually don't know that there is no field goals. Field goals might be a thing. I didn't read anything about field goals.
No extra point field.
No extra point field goals.
Okay, that makes more sense.
As far as you know, is this true for both iterations of the league?
Yes, they
Okay.
didn't add the extra point rule until the playoff version of the original XFL.
Okay.
So they just they're like, oh, we liked that. Well, and then transferred it from the 2001 version.
Okay, so if this is not readily apparent to the listener, there was the 2001 iteration of the XFL that lasted what, a year?
It lasted literally one season.
Exactly one season, but it left a huge cultural impact, I would say. I mean, for real though, I think the XFL was the first time they used like the wire cam above the. So it was like literally kind of informing how sports were being filmed, presented. And then now there's the, I guess, what do you have the idea in 2019 or late 2018? Vince announced that there would be the new iteration of XFL happening in 2020, 2021.
It's happening February 8th this year.
Yeah,
okay.
It's coming out. Another change is overtime. It's 5 rounds, and each team starts on the 5-yard line, and your offense gets one play to score. Whoever has the most points at the end of the 5 rounds wins the game.
Another point of this was to also make football games shorter.
Okay.
So whereas the average football game now goes for like 3.5 hours, this one will be 2 hours, 40 minutes tops, and leave 20 minutes afterwards for like a post game show. And it'll be in 3-hour slots on the TV.
And only
where do they cut promos?
Where do they cut promos?
It's because they cut down the clock that they give in the NFL. Like the NFL gives you 35 seconds or something like that. And they give you 20 seconds.
No, as people who watch more football than I do.
I watch super football.
I watch football.
I don't anymore.
Well, Antoine and I guess David in a later stage. Was
the Patriots lost this year.
Was the length of a football game really bothering people?
Yeah. If you're losing, it's bad.
But like if you're winning, if you're like enjoying
it just feels good the whole time. You're a Browns fan, you never really win.
Last quarter is annoying.
No matter what, I agree with
last 3 minutes of a last quarter because they're all like the losing team keeps trying to keep the play stopped. So like literally 3 minutes can take
45 minutes.
Oh yeah, like the last 3 minutes could take a long time if it's a close game. But like overall, the games are long. Like the worst game period is the 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Like the 4 o'clock game, it always feels the longest.
They also have a pretty long halftime.
Okay,
that's like 20 minutes,
30 minutes.
It's like enough time to smoke.
Take a while to smoke.
Okay, so that is something that potentially viewers could want. Is but
I want the shorter play clock. It's more action. Have to do their play fast. It's a more fast-paced game.
Okay.
And I don't know if it like what the rules were for the old XFL.
I know some of them.
But I know in this one I read that they're doing like a comeback stage pretty much for each set of the halftime. So there's 2 halves for the 2-minute warning in that time. Like, so let's say you run the ball and you get stopped. So the time's going to stop actually until they spot the ball in 5 seconds, burn off of your time clock. So it's going to give you the if you're behind at least, it's going to give you more time to kind of get your plays together, make more plays, not burn the clock off. So better chance of people making comebacks pretty much.
They're cutting timeouts down by 1 timeout per half, so there'll only be 4 timeouts per game.
Okay, so I feel like we got a pretty decent overview of the rule changes in the XFL versus the NFL, right?
Yeah, make it faster.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the things that we want from the XFL.
Suplexes.
Like,
I wanted to add one thing real quick.
Okay.
About like the formation of the XFL, unless we're going to get there later.
The formation.
So Vince McMahon did this because racist people aren't watching football anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
I just wanted to make sure that was stated. That Colin Kaepernick kneeling and the whole fallout from that.
I definitely wanted to get to that at some point as well. Like,
okay, we can.
You think that's what it is?
Wait, what?
100%.
Yes,
1,000%.
Like part of their contracts is going to include that they cannot kneel during the halftime, not during the halftime, during
the national anthem.
During the national anthem. And like in multiple interviews, Vince has said like, well, when people don't want to be bothered by politics or personal issues when they're trying to be entertained. So if one of our superstars wants to do something like that, they have to do it on their own time type shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of understand what he's trying to say.
3 true facts about Vince McMahon. He is a bad writer, a shrewd businessman, and pretty fucking racist. And having 2 and 3 of those combined to see an opportunity when there is actually an audience who is losing real interest with the NFL over all the shit that's been going on. And then also seeing the opportunity to make that his thing that he failed before, and knowing how vain and weird that guy is probably still fucking eats at him that wasn't a successful venture on his part.
Oh yeah, probably. He was like, I'm about to smash the NFL.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sure he talked a lot of shit.
He probably definitely did talk a lot of shit. It's funny though, because like in these same interviews where he's talking about like, oh, we're going to be as unpolitical as possible and try to avoid personal policies and fucking your own like life,
which is extremely political.
Yeah. He's like, but players will not be barred from using cannabis or to be tested for the drug. Like,
that's wild because I think that wrestlers in the WWE can still, I don't know specifically about cannabis, but I know they're tested constantly for other substances.
Well, I'm sure they'll be tested for like performance enhancing drugs and shit.
But like, if you're making the XFL, don't you want some big fucking dudes?
This is what
like,
I want.
That could be their edge. Like, it's not safe.
I want XFL to be like the video game NFL Blitz.
No,
Do you remember? That shit was lit.
Oh yeah.
You want guys with like torsos 8 times the size of their legs just fucking going at it.
I want people breaking bones. Like I remember when you used to catch, like they catch across the middle and like you'd tackle them, their ribs would break. It would show you like the X-ray.
The X-ray, yeah.
NFL Blitz kicks ass. They got a machine for it in 16-bit, I think.
Another thing that like they debated about with the new XFL was like they weren't going to allow people with felonies or who have committed any kind of crime.
There we go.
To be in the XFL. But then they started getting interest from Johnny Manziel and shit. And they were like, that rule's actually not going to be a rule. But then they decided that Johnny Manziel isn't good enough to be on the team.
Okay. It's like the white felon or the white criminal guy wants to get on here. Let me rewrite the policy real quick.
It does sound like they're trying to cater to the fuck squad.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what they're trying to cater to.
Yeah.
That was the majority of the WWE's fucking.
I think with
the fuck squad
with other competition on the market, I think a lot of people who are not down with the
who is the fuck squad?
The fuck squad, like the racist Blue Lives Matter.
The Trumpers.
Just don't kneel during
don't kneel in the beginning of the game because then I ain't gonna be able to watch the whole damn thing.
Who write 8-paragraph long Facebook posts about who say that like Colin Kaepernick is disgusting, but also like talk about him in a real weird way where you might think that they thought about him like a little too much.
They got a picture of him in the room on the dresser. Like I
hate that I have to jerk off to your disgusts me.
Yeah, that's the goal of the XFL.
That's the fuck squad.
If you think about it, like that was the original fucking demographic of like the WWE.
The fucks
call them. Like, how far back are we talking? With
I used to be part of the demographic of the WWE. All right, so
look, I think it's always been universal, and there's always been a lot of people who really like it.
Yeah,
and I think honestly, more recently now, it's probably way worse than it ever was, I think, just because there's so many other options. Like if I'm a wrestling fan, like first off, you don't really give a shit what's on TV because everyone has the internet right now. And I can watch like 75 different, way more, I hate to use this word, but like woke wrestling things all over the internet. And even the other one that's on TV right now is definitely better than WWE in terms of politics of their fucking billionaire overlord.
Right.
So I think it's definitely it's definitely sort of selected the audience who's still avidly watching.
Is Master P gonna come out with a football like he did to go against? Because didn't Master P come out with the wrestling?
What? No,
I never heard of that.
If he did, I'm not aware.
I heard of Master P coming out with the wrestling. They said he's about to take over WWE.
I'm gonna Google this. Master P.
He clearly didn't.
Right.
Thought Connor would know for sure.
I'm pretty sure that wrestling has always been synonymous with white trash, though, right? Like that's.
I'm pretty sure. Like
I would have some pushback there. I think that might
I'll
be
agree with that. I think that's just because you like wrestling.
From the outside looking in, I think but there's arguments to be made for both. I don't want to write off all old school wrestling fans as that.
I'm not. Again, like I said,
feel like every kid watches that.
I do feel like it is more popular among children. Yes, like especially the WWE back in the day. The adults that were watching it were primarily white trash adults, right? For the most part.
I don't know. I watched it when I was a kid, so I didn't really pay attention, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like a lot of people just like wrestling or they don't. Like I stopped watching when I realized it was fake. That's why I stopped. I was like, what? Done with this.
Okay.
You fooled me long enough.
Sorry, I had to look this up. Master P owns House of Glory Wrestling, which is an indie New York wrestling fed that is much, much, much smaller. It's like a very, very indie wrestling league. Like they still get a lot of cool guys coming through, but definitely not in the scale.
He said, "I'm gonna keep trying though.
Yeah, he
I
did.
will get you WWE."
I'm gunning for you.
He's trying. He got like little scrappy shows.
I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know?
I mean, honestly, I like going to those way more. They're cheaper and they have the talent. It's a lot more.
If I can see Lil Scrappy out here wrestling somebody, that's pretty funny.
How come no one's ever made like a Def Jam wrestling one?
Here's the thing: there is, you just don't know about it.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. That would make sense.
So the teams that they're going to have, I feel like they fucked up the names. Like,
Okay, so I
Let's all pick the championship winner now.
We're putting
Off of not knowing anything about them, just the team names.
Okay.
so the team names are the Dallas Renegades,
Okay.
the Houston Roughnecks, the Los Angeles Wildcats, the Seattle Dragons, the DC Defenders, the New York Guardians.
See, I want to stop right there. What was it? DC Defenders and New York Guardians is like a little fascist sounding, just a little bit.
I mean,
It's
to
like-
me,
it's
these
like
literally
hinting
sound
towards
like
it.
NFL street names.
They do sound like
Like
NFL street
when you do
names.
the little story or whatever. These are the names.
Then there's also
Yeah,
the
you're
St.
right.
Louis Battlehawks.
And what the fuck's a battle hawk?
Hey, it's a battling hawk.
Is that a real thing?
What
I'm just
else
not
could
aware
it
of.
be? A battling hawk.
There's hawks.
Isn't
and there's
Battlehawks like? Isn't that something to do with like dog fighting in the air, like with airplanes and shit?
Oh, maybe it's dumb either way.
You think we're the only species with military?
And then the Tampa Bay Vipers. So,
Battlehawk is a show.
Oh, it's definitely named after that.
It has one season.
I'm
and
gonna have
it's from
the-
1976.
The Terre Haute, Indiana Airwolves.
Yo, you're really hating on Battlehawk, but look at the image here. All right, look at the image here, guys.
Oh my! They're not
Battlehawk
winning
looks like it was the fucking shit.
No, they're
That's
not winning
fucking,
anything.
Let me see it.
That's Ultraman. That's just a Japanese.
1976.
Why are you?
That was like a
That's
possible
Ultraman,
evil
dude.
villain for Power Rangers, bro. Like,
It's Ultraman. It's its own show. I don't know why it comes up when you search Battlehawk.
you're giving us false info out here.
Ultraman whips, dude. It
Hey,
fucking
you can't
kicks
believe
ass.
everything on the internet, guys. All right, look, here we go. This is them for real.
Yeah, I know. I watched Ultraman before.
No, that's Battlehawk, man.
It's Ultraman.
Look, man, it says it.
All right, I guess I'm bested by fucking Google.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So here's my pitch for the XFL. Right.
Hold on. We got what? We got to pick our team.
We haven't even
Yeah,
picked our
we gotta-
winning teams.
You set it up.
I-
you teed it up.
And then
I just wanted to say
and
the
you
names.
took it away.
I just wanted to say the names.
No. We got to pick who we're.
I mean, this is like a lottery pick right here. This is fun.
Yeah, this is good.
Well, I'm a
I'm
gambler, so.
gonna pick
I'm
the
gonna
New
win.
York Guardians. It's the greatest city in the world.
I get the Roughnecks. Flat the fuck out.
All right,
It's gonna have the greatest football
I'm
players.
going with the Battlehawks. I did a lot of work on the Battlehawks.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Vipers because I'm pretty sure that's the team name I picked in NFL Street.
See,
was the Vipers. So
Vipers is the weakest name to me.
no, dude,
that
that's like I
sounds
said,
too
no,
generic.
they're
No,
ready.
Dragons.
Okay.
Is legit the weakest name.
Dragons are like Dragons are cooler than Vipers.
Dude, nobody wants to be on a team called the
All right, they
Dragons.
are. No one does want to be on a
I'd
team named
rather
the
be on a
Dragons.
team
though.
called the Dragons than the Vipers.
You know what'd be fucking lit if this
Because you're not an
Ultraman,
athlete.
if Ultraman or Battlehawk, whoever they are, if these are the cheerleaders or like the
Oh,
mascots
yeah, you
for,
had guys in
for
there,
Battlehawk.
like-
There will be no cheerleaders in the new XFL.
No, motherfuckers.
Because it's Dudes Rock 2020.
Yeah, they are on some weird shit, man.
I mean, maybe it's gonna be the
Yeah,
refs.
okay, so I got one question before we move on. What should Cleveland's team name be if we got an XFL team?
Cleveland Browns.
The landlords.
Well,
The Cleveland Landlords.
see. Now this is my thing.
We're the Cleveland Landlords are the heels of the league.
This is the place where I wanted to go with it. Like, I think they should rename all the teams. Right? We rename all the teams. We separate them into clear categories of heel and fucking face.
No, that would never work because they're so tied to a location that if they play in Seattle, people are always going to cheer the Dragons.
That's okay. Bad people need fans too. People cheered on Heisenberg.
Yeah, that's no. We're in my zone now. We're talking about wrestling, and you need someone who's always bad. So you need to be like the other city USA team are the bad guys.
Alaska.
The people from Shelbyville are fucking the heels. It could never be where you're from. So yeah, like knowing Vince McMahon to be the Puerto Rican team would be the heels.
But there would always be people cheering for the Puerto Rican team.
How many, like, if they stay out of California, how many Puerto Rican people? I'm sorry.
Puerto Ricans support Puerto Ricans. They hear there's a Puerto Rican team.
They're
You're
gonna
in trouble.
fly.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming with their flags, the whole nine.
On the Hondas.
I don't know, man. I feel like they should have teams that are located, like maybe them in like small towns. The small town teams are the heels of the league.
Like Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
You got real specific. You got an Akron. Oh, that's what you do is you put two teams in one state, right? Like you have the Cleveland team. That's the face team. And then you got the Akron team. That's the heel team.
I would go to an Akron game just to hate on them.
Yeah, definitely.
Drive 45 minutes.
Drive 45 minutes just to be like, hey, you guys aren't as good as us.
And you know what? They probably wouldn't be.
No,
They probably
The
wouldn't be.
Akron team definitely doesn't have the same budget for players as the Cleveland team.
the Akron Zips though, like their basketball team. I know
The Akron U.
they're pretty good.
The Akron Rubber Ducks. They
They're better
changed
than,
the
like,
name
Cleveland
of
State, I
the
think.
minor league baseball team in Akron to the Rubber Ducks.
Straight up, if we can't win in the NFL, we're gonna win in the XFL.
Hey, no,
We'll pull the Browns down.
I was telling my coworker today, like, hey, we should just transfer the Browns to the XFL.
Dynasty.
The problem is all of the teams are owned by the league in the XFL.
That's why the players don't get fucking paid.
Yeah, they don't. There's not individual.
Oh, those
owners.
players are actually making though what I feel like athletes should make
50,000 is a little low.
Well, okay. 50,000
to play football.
Do they get health insurance?
Probably not. It's Vince McMahon.
Yeah, they do. So 50,000, they probably don't get health insurance. How many years?
He might not be getting away with that in football though.
I mean, real shit, they should be at least like 100,000 at least. Like nothing too much over that, but
He's had a multi-million-dollar company get away with not giving people who work every day of the fucking year jumping off and like doing backflips and not
But I
giving
don't
them
think
health
the teams
insurance.
they're not gonna be able to be put as independent contractors like wrestlers.
You think he's going to
Like the
try?
players?
Because they're not like those wrestlers aren't.
They're
really
signing contracts to a team.
Yeah, that's okay. So like,
But that still makes you an independent contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Factually.
This guy has, I feel like if you like, I can't imagine how much of his like company profits go towards lawyers because it's a fucking lot, like contract lawyers. I can't even imagine.
You're paid if you're Vince McMahon's contract lawyer.
you are.
Maybe.
Man.
He
Somehow
hates
owns
Vince
him
McMahon.
too.
What do you think the XFL would be able to do to actually steal audience from the NFL?
I think he found a good niche where people are so fed up with the quote unquote politicization of like football that they'll come watch it. There's at least some people there. And if you're saying if he actually manages to pull through on what the rules kind of indicate and makes a more fast paced, exciting to watch game with people who, I don't know, if those guys can juice, then he'll be fucking golden, man. If he can have like big dudes hitting each other.
Doing like their signature truck.
Yeah, exactly. But like if he kind of turns a blind eye to some guys getting a little too big too quick, then he might have something going.
You know what I want to see in the XFL?
Suplexes.
Okay, no, but
I do want to see suplexes.
I want to have entrance music for each individual player. That'd be sick.
That'd be great.
you would get to know the players better too. Like they'd be more super sorry. That and I want like, you know how they have like the end zone dances and shit.
Yeah.
So like instead of it being like discouraged, I want them to really encourage these motherfuckers to like go all out with their end zone dances.
Likely, actually.
And like fucking, you know that video that you sent me of his. Okay, so Vince McMahon also did a bodybuilding thing.
Yeah, I can't like the World Bodybuilding Federation or something, which was like wrestling for bodybuilding.
He sent me a GIF of what happened in the fucking in the World Bodybuilding Federation of like this dude playing a guitar that was like shooting out fucking fireworks. And I'll tell you what, if I could see that as an end zone dance, I might become a football fan.
Yeah. There's another. I have not watched an episode of this show before, but there's a clip I saw where a guy who kind of looked like Schwarzenegger from Terminator runs out with an assault rifle, and there's other guys that looks like they were shooting him on like I guess I want to call it a runway where he's like going out and posing, and he's like fake shooting these guys who were shooting at him while he's like posing.
No lie, I think that the thing we need to do to make the like Vince, I'm talking right to you now, and I'm saying we because I need you to involve me in the profits of this. We need to fucking put gimmicks on all the teams, right? And then like they'll each come out in their gimmick. Like we'll go with was there a Ranger team? I forget the name of the teams already.
The Roughnecks,
the Vipers.
Okay, so the Vipers, right? The Vipers will wear fucking scales as their outfit.
Oh, you want like you want some costumes?
Yeah, I want some costumes.
No, yeah, I want to see just pretty much WWE and football combined, like football and entertainment put together. I don't even care if they're not even playing at full speed anymore, and it's all scripted.
So we're watching all these games together, Dave?
I'm down.
McMahon doesn't let them call it wrestling. In pro wrestling, it's sports entertainment. So this is truly the extension of sports entertainment.
Like, I would be totally cool if it wasn't as like real, but like niggas was like running and getting suplexed and like, what do you call that? DDT. And all
I mean, obviously, I only watch fake sports. I'd be here for it.
If I can see somebody get RKO'd.
That's what I'm saying.
Or if I can see, like, what I really want to see, man, is somebody running, like, they already got past all the defenders, right?
And they get fucking
and then out of nowhere, comes a special
Steve
guest that like jumps out of the stands, runs over, tackles him, stops him from the
Here's the storyline. That was the guy who went out injured in like the first half. And then right at the end, he like takes a dive from the stands. He
comes in with a bullshit cast and everything.
He's got the fucking steel chair.
Like, this is what I expect. Like, I fully expect like people knocking out refs when they're losing for an edge. I'm gonna be
severely disappointed when this is just like regular football, but a little faster.
I'm gonna be pretty upset about that. I mean, the first year it might be, he has to get some viewers and get some money going.
That's why I'm gonna start my indie rugby to compete. It's where all the players come from, and then he poaches them off of us.
We call it the XRL.
I don't know. I mean, can you really make rugby extreme?
It's already extreme.
Yeah.
I guess you could like make the ball hurt. You could put like thumbtacks in the ball.
I mean, I guess you could really just tell them like, y'all can straight up just like suplex each other like for real.
I mean, they pretty much be suplexing each other.
They're just hitting each other.
Yeah, but like once you start getting hit with RKOs.
I mean, rugby's just savage for the point that like they have no safety equipment.
See, this is a lack of imagination on Vince's part, because he should take it like an already like explicitly violent sport like hockey and then wrestlefy that. Because I think that'd be cool is if they could have like the hockey fight, but they were like Dave was saying, give them some like give them an RKO, give them like an elbow drop in there.
Like he might be onto something that he could really run with here. Because
I tell you what, you wrestlingify. It's a sport that's not out here. Nobody's like got national
gaming, the true sport.
Fencing, my dog. Wrestlingify fencing.
See, but you gotta wear those masks over your the lucha masks. They gotta wear lucha masks over your face when you fence.
Well, or you, it's just all whatever your costume is. You know what I'm saying? Like you come out with the fucking Knights mask on.
He's the black
what about wrestlefying?
Skeet shooting.
No, what is that? Curling
kicks ass. That's the thing I watched in the Olympics.
Yeah, the only thing that everybody likes from the Olympics. Wrestlefy. Where they gotta like fight each other to stop them from like.
Oh, is that one? I thought that was on shuffleboard or something.
No, that's
not
curling.
They like slide the thing and the other people are in front of it.
You just cut RKO.
They gotta smooth out the ice so the thing gets there, or rough it. I don't know. They gotta do something to the ice.
They're doing something to the ice.
Or someone special moves putting it back.
Like who's better?
Move and he kicked it.
Who's better in curling? The person like that releases the puck, or the people that are in front of it like.
That's a lot of work. Like you gotta have good aim if you got puck. If you're a thrower,
they're two different people.
If you're a thrower, then you gotta have good aim. I think that's what they call it. I could be very wrong.
And the other dude just gotta be a hard worker.
And they don't throw though. It's more like a
it's like
I think it's throwers and sweepers.
For the people that can't see us, we're all doing this weird.
Yeah.
2 out of 4. 2 out of 4. We're doing it.
A ballet maneuver.
If you ever see the curling, we're releasing the puck with both like.
I think
I say my technique was pretty good though.
It's honestly impressive.
Dave thinks he's an Olympic level curler already.
For real, because like I can't go around the loop on skates. I don't think.
But who pays you to curl during the?
In the meantime,
a few people in this country. It's like a Canadian thing. I don't know. They got.
Oh, it is probably big in Canada.
Yeah, in fact, it is for a fact.
So you probably just travel everywhere.
It's for a fact.
Or maybe they just pay you that good that you just got to curl at one time. Well,
I did see that Canada was ranked the best place to live.
On what
2019?
Best place, just generally.
Like it's the best quality of life.
That's cool. I'm happy for him.
Where are we ranked?
Probably like fucking last.
Well, not last.
How did you check theirs and not ours?
We
Because ours wasn't a tabloid.
It didn't make you wonder?
Canada's was a tabloid.
yeah, that definitely would have made me wonder.
Yeah, I would be like, where are we?
Nah, I didn't really care.
I'm
I
gonna
was like,
guess like I could see us being ranked like an
Upper
8th
30s?
or something. Like it depends what perspective.
upper
what they're-
30s? You think our quality of life is that bad?
We got a lot of nice shit.
Yeah.
We got a lot of nice shit in this country.
Yeah, but like, okay,
It's
so
hard
like,
to rank
like, are you
something
looking
that
at like
low when you have all this-
infrastructure?
We're poor
fucking-
people that are putting our voice out to the world right
Infrastructure
now.
doesn't give a shit. I can buy beef wherever I want
That's
for
not
like
our...
$1.50 and I got a plasma TV. Who gives a shit?
We all do have plasma
It is
TV.
hard to rank them that low when you have such nice shit.
It can't be that bad a country
As
if
a
I
wor-
can
as a
like
country.
buy a 65-inch LED from Walmart. Like how bad can it be?
If you could just put out your own podcast,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. We're allowed to talk shit about anything we want right now.
There's a lot
That's a
of
good
world
quality of
countries.
life.
Everyone seems too nice in the countries that are like ranked really good. I don't think I could do well there.
No, I think it's
It's
like...
like
live in fucking Norway.
I'd have less of an excuse to be such a fuck up or
I
whatever.
feel like no, that's just because we're in Ohio where everybody's assholes.
No,
like I go to
I don't
other
feel like
places and people
really
are
assholes
nice.
here.
Dude, people are nice everywhere.
No, man, I'm an Ohio defender. Ohio kicks
It
ass.
does.
I love Ohio.
I'd be fucking. Anytime
We're just
somebody's like,
asshole people.
I'm about to leave Cleveland forever. I'm like, why would you do that?
yeah, I never want to leave.
I'll see you again in 3 years.
I feel like our people can't be that bad because like our traffic isn't that bad. Like I don't deal with that much bullshit through traffic.
Dude, somebody
Some
got
people-
shot in the face for beeping at somebody.
I mean, somebody.
That's bound to happen anywhere.
There's a-
That's a statistic
That's
anomaly.
bound to happen.
I mean,
man.
that's
That's a
happen.
statistic anomaly, Antoine.
What highway exit do you think that happened by, Connor?
Enlighten me.
It was at Dead Man's Curve.
Really?
Literally.
Oh my god.
That's called a city having fucking character.
yeah, he's
I'll give him
right.
that.
He's right.
This dude
To
really
scrap
had
the
a touch to
underdogs.
it.
You know why they don't hear that story about New York? Because it happens like 5 times a day every day.
And dude didn't even die. He just got shot in the face, like through the cheek, busted his teeth out.
Wow, that's lucky.
Pretty lucky.
Pretty close to Cleveland Clinic. Not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
That's where you're getting shot.
That is crazy though.
But like, I don't know about our quality of living. We're always ranked in the worst cities in the United States. Like for the
Well, I
past
feel
like,
like there's
10 years.
There's a wild difference between like LA and Cleveland.
I'll lie.
Yeah, but or like fucking like nowhere Indiana and like New York. That's like 2 different places.
That
I
is
mean,
two
nowhere
very different
Indiana
places.
and Cleveland is 2 different places.
Yeah, right.
We're like semi-big city.
Like nowhere Ohio and Cleveland are like that.
Yeah, it's 2 different places. Like you can't even tell people you're from Ohio if you live in Cleveland.
Yeah, because you get
You have to just like specifically say like I live in Cleveland because everybody knows it's a different world.
Like you can
From,
say
like,
you're
the rest
from.
of Ohio.
You can just lead with Ohio if you're from Columbus. I think
Yeah, from
like it's still
Ohio.
a city or whatever. But
They'll probably think you're from Columbus if you just say Ohio.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
anybody from Cleveland would be
it's
like.
the most central. Like you point at it, and
I feel
your
like when people
fingers
hear
right
Ohio,
on.
they just think like it's all like Hawking Hills or something.
No, I feel like they think it's all fields with cows in it.
Fields,
because
yeah.
most of it fucking is fields.
I mean, a chunk of it is.
No, it's fields with corn and soybeans.
Yep.
Because I always
corn.
think like when I drive out of here,
That government
down,
subsidized.
I love it, dude. I can't wait to eat corn and soybean.
corn is pretty fucking good.
Corn is good.
Nah.
The other day I ordered some pasta though, and like my kid wanted corn on the side, so I said, "Hey,
What?
can I get corn on the side?" And they put pasta or corn in my pasta. Like I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yo, spaghetti, red sauce, and corn is some Cleveland shit.
It was like Alfredo,
Sounds pretty
Oh, that's
steak and chicken Alfredo with corn,
good. I mean, I feel like corn doesn't have a really strong taste,
sweet
so-
peppers, and
where did you order this from?
piata.
Okay, that's fine.
Piata sucks.
How did
dude.
it taste with corn?
It was whatever. I don't like piata, but it was my kid's birthday,
It's
and I
two
said,
starches. 2 starches is always inherently wrong.
It's just like I don't want that sweet ass taste in my Alfredo.
Like, what if you had potatoes and pasta?
I like
Or
spicy
potatoes and corn. You just
No,
like
potatoes and
Potatoes and corn. Are
potatoes and fucking everything is good.
Potatoes and corn is good. Like mixing mashed potatoes and corn.
Like that's a starch I can go to
okay.
starch.
No.
Potatoes and rice.
I was just thinking,
great. I mean, mashed
gnocchi
potatoes and
is
bread is
potato
good.
in pasta.
Like for real.
Yeah, and pierogies.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I stand stand corrected. I thought about this and I'm wrong. I'm a big man. I'm
a big man. I'm admitting it.
I just get happy when you start talking about like potatoes, man. Yeah. I love potatoes.
It's an area of interest.
They go in everything.
I'm a meat and potatoes type of guy.
So with the XFL though, do you think that we should have like we should have fucking
where are they playing the games?
In the city.
Well, let Jimmy say what he's saying.
Well, I know in the cities, but like, are they using the NFL stadiums?
I don't think so.
They're going to high school gymnasiums.
That's what I'm like. Because they're like, I know that another thing that they said about the XFL is it's supposed to be cheap. It's supposed to be more like user friendly.
It's like $20 for
you're gonna come in and it holds a crowd of like 50 people.
Yeah, right. Do you think they should have fucking gimmicks for the fucking individual people or for the teams?
See, if I remember
for the individual people.
No, yeah. If I remember correctly about the original XFL, they had custom jerseys with like whatever they wanted.
Like on the trash can.
Like one guy had "He Hate Me" on the back, I think is the famous one. So I think that sort of indicates, like, in wrestling terminology, you put yourself over. You got to be the guy who wears the feather boa to the ring,
right?
Or some shit, or to the field or whatever. That's on you, and then you get that's value added to you. Because then people are watching when you go to the New York Defenders or to the Florida Vipers.
Where's the dude with the feather boa, man?
He's on the Vipers.
Where'd I don't know, like Big Twan go? If Antoine
Vipers.
was the what would your gimmick? What would your?
I'd be the fridge.
The fridge?
Yeah,
That'd be on the back of your jersey?
Yeah, I wouldn't work out. I'd be like a fat fuck out there, but I'd be like tackling people.
Bro, just bring back the old school. You'd be Bobby Grease.
Bobby Grease? No, then I'd have to be like a slippery offensive player.
It's like blatantly cheating when you're putting like oil all over you.
No, yeah, I'd be a running back if I was Bobby Grease. That just was greased up, so everybody trying to tackle me. He's like, shoot.
It's like, that's great for me, who's someone who's not already bought into football. If they all have like dumb fucking names, that's way easier for me to remember it than like a normal name.
If a running back comes out covered in oil with that name, dude, I'm in.
Fucking sold.
I'm watching whatever team has Bobby Grease on it.
Yeah, right.
I should bring Bobby Grease back.
Is this like a character of yours?
That was my Xbox Live name.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like when I was a kid, that was my first thing.
He used to talk about how he was going to make Greasy Spoon Productions.
Yeah, I was giving everybody like food names. Because this dude came to class, man, he had so much grease in his hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got grease on my head. Chicken grease on my head. And then it just made me make this whole rap group of grease people. And I was Bobby Grease.
And now you can be a famous football player.
Yep. Bobby Grease can transform into a football player.
One of us has to train up and try and get into go to tryouts. Like we'll never get on. But
I'm going for the coaching position. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell them I can bring like all kinds of flair to their coaching position.
In an athletic polo.
Yeah, right.
I can envision it.
Fucking, I got the hat that isn't all the way a hat. It's a visor. That's the way I'm looking for.
Jeremy and the team's losing.
Not all the way a hat.
What was that, Dave?
Just dump
I said,
Powerade on you.
If your team was losing and you were a head coach.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have a Gatorade sponsorship. They'd have a Powerade sponsorship. A vitamin water sponsorship.
Yeah, fucking. Maybe that's where the heels come in, is the head coaches are the heels of the league. Like, it's like the players are like...
Everyone hates their boss.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you got it now.
I said you should go out there and lose. And you won.
Yes. I've got a lot of money riding on this game. See?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity here, but I feel like they're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
If they can find out to make a way for it to like either CG or make somebody really like go Super Saiyan.
Well, from what
I get hot, like, you know how when people get hot, like if the player's hot, they just catch on fire on your screen. Like, yeah, I'm fired now.
So like this is something I found out that I think it's not Formula One. It's like a different type of, it's like Formula D racing does. Where they have, they basically have a turbo boost in their car that they're allowed to turn on for so many like seconds per race.
They got Nas?
No, it's not like, it's something, because I think they, like this specific one uses electric cars. So it's something about like you can turn it up to this percentage for this.
So it probably releases the governor.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know specifically. I'm not a European racing guy, but I always thought
you do know a little bit about this.
And then there's also something about like a fan boost where like fans can like tweet at you to boost. Again, this is not like real Formula One. This is like a sub league,
right?
But I always thought that'd be interesting if they.
I'm watching.
If they could like add that to a different sport, that'd be cool as hell.
You
like,
fucking tweet at fucking we'll say Johnny Manziel because that's the only one I could think of. You
at
tweet
New York Defenders,
and they all start running faster.
Yeah. Like they're all wearing shoes, like that scene from fucking Face Off where they're in the prison, and it just releases the magnets on them, and they can finally start moving around.
It's actually like Naruto. They got the fucking ankle weights. Right?
Oh yeah. They all have to take off their Rock Lee weights.
Yeah.
I want him to catch on fire, yo.
How would you possibly do that?
Like on the full entertainment scale. Like if somebody's like doing good and they catch fight.
Yeah,
this man wants like them to go Kaioken.
Yeah, but like, how is that? How would you even think about doing that?
Antoine's not happy with a torn ACL. He wants someone with like 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah.
He's doing great. Throw some gas on him.
He's on fire. I feel like the announcer should like be visible as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see the people doing the play calling. Like I want them to be on the sidelines.
Oh, like a Japanese TV show where they have like the separate little like square.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see it from every camera angle almost.
Putting them on the sidelines would be cool. They'll probably get smacked a few times.
You would have to give them, like he said, like a square inside of the field.
In wrestling tradition,
what if they
someone would
announce
have
it
to
from
go
the-
through the announce table.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
They should put it on the 50-yard line.
Like you gotta go around
a
it.
square table, so they just have like swivel chairs and they can keep
They're
watching the game.
suspended in the goalpost when they're doing the kick.
Or they could be suspended in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to have them in a central place to have them in every camera angle. You know what I'm saying?
I think on the 50-yard line would be great.
I think if a referee gets knocked out, all rules should go away.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. I mean, if they do it right, if they do it right. Like this is WWE and NFL.
The camera that's recording sees them cheating, but no one. If the referee didn't see, you can't do anything. Yeah. There's definitely no like play-by-play camera. There's no like playback camera.
No, not whatsoever. We don't have that technology.
Every game should end with the sudden death of like the losing team just gets to try to fight the winning team, and whoever wins actually wins the game.
So you just have to get the best fighters.
Antoine just wants to watch Mortal Kombat. Like that's actually the live entertainment.
Team on team.
No, the two biggest rivals throughout that match on the opposite side should have a 1v1 wrestling match. Boom.
I like team on team fight in the middle of the field.
I mean, you can do the whole squad. I mean, you got
Or
to
a
get
huge game of tug of war. If you guys want to
Or a huge game of tug of war. That's how you decide who gets the ball first.
Huge game of tug of war or gang fight.
It's a full team
It
tug
should
of
just be
war.
a game of kill or carry.
Gang fight is how you decide who gets the ball. I mean, you have to mix the wrestling in there.
You got to somehow.
And UFC.
And UFC.
And UFC.
Yeah. Make it like real wrestling. Like everything's just real.
What are you talking about?
Antoine's like completely off the rails now.
That's how the XFL is supposed to be. Extreme Football League. Like
No.
ECW
Extreme.
is how I think of XFL. Like put some
No.
chairs on the sideline and shit.
I mean, people can't be
you're forgetting your
suplexing
wrestling
people.
lore here, Antoine. Because once WWE, aka Vince McMahon, acquired ECW, it became soft shit. They made it soft.
I don't know. I was
So
12.
you need
It was cool.
you need to make
Agreed. It was
you
cool.
need to make the ECW of football yourself, and then hopefully it'll get acquired
By Vince McMahon's
by
company.
Vince McMahon and make it garbage.
I'd be a horrible person because people will get hurt.
I mean, hey, let's look at ECW. I know it's all fake and they're gimmick tables and shit, but going through 8 of them still fucking hurts.
Probably.
For real.
I mean, I guess you're right if you're choosing that lifestyle.
I mean, they signed up for it.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so we got running back Bobby Grease. What's your gimmick?
I don't know. Come back to me.
Gimmick.
Freight train.
Freight train. And what's your specialty here? Like he covers himself in grease, right?
I think I just yell choo choo and run as fast as I can. I don't know anything about football, dude.
You pull the fucking Forrest Gump is what you're saying?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
like you're able to break past everybody, but you just keep running and run right out of the fucking stadium. That's what you
Get
do
real annoyed.
in every game, and like you just don't come back.
Not a popular character.
He scores one touchdown for them every every time.
Yeah,
They use him on the first play. He's just like, boom, and then he's just out of the game.
Automatic boost, yep.
Well, it ends the game because it's still the ball. I'm not giving it back.
They got lots of balls.
Okay.
Are the
People
XFL
stab balls
black?
in this one. What?
They stab them?
Here's the thing. Here's a good storyline is if you actually do like the ball inflation or deflation thing, but like as like a visible thing the whole audience can see.
Yeah.
You have like a big helium canister and you put it in there.
I want to know where they're playing.
I'd be the football samurai.
What?
Yep. The football samurai.
That's what your jersey would say?
It says FBS.
It would be in
There's
like
not enough room for
10
football
font.
samurai.
He's right. It would be FBS.
Or just whatever the Japanese characters for that are.
Right.
What would you do?
I don't know exactly what I do. I know at one point I
You didn't know I wanted to be called a football samurai.
All he does is he has like the Karate Kid bandana.
I might carry like a set of like samurai swords like
on the field?
Onto the field, and then I'll put them, put them at the side. Right, respectfully on the side of the field, and then like I get angry, I stab the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing.
That's a disqualification.
I think
if the ref catches
am a quarterback.
Okay. I think I'm a quarterback.
I'm about to go home on Madden and make the my XFL team.
Yeah, you need to have at least all 4 of our people on it.
Oh, what? Oh, okay, you're all. So we got 2 running backs already, though. We got Bob. So we got a fullback and a
He could be a
halfback.
wide receiver because he just runs.
Right.
And he runs the run streak route, catches the ball, keeps it running. He's out of here.
All right, Dave.
I would probably be the crazy lumberjack. I already fit it. He
Probably
has
come out
the
with
only
only flannel jersey on the field ever.
And I'm a linebacker.
Okay.
And I guess my gimmick would be
You're an axe.
You eat pancakes on the side.
Maybe I chop down the field goal. I don't know.
David's doing real damage to
That's
the
my
property.
special move when it matters. I'm gonna fucking chop down a field goal.
Oh, they're going to win by a field goal, coach? And they'll be like, and the lumberjack is down at the field post. What is he doing?
What is he doing?
The most illegal play in football.
These guys don't give on. You know what?
Yeah, they're not allowed to curse.
Yeah,
they're on
ABC.
Oh. All right. Well, that's going to be an all-star team right there. That's the Cleveland Landlords.
The Cleveland Landlords.
With the 2 running backs, Bobby Grease and Freight Train. The quarterback, the football samurai, and the crazy lumberjack on the
Honestly,
D
I
line.
think we just make a team with those 4. I don't think you don't even need to fill out the rest.
Dave is just out there on defense by himself against 11 guys. Going crazy.
But like he's swinging his axe.
I guess I get taxed at that point. So, do they really want to fuck with me right now?
Oh, well, with that, I think that's going to be the end of the episode, guys.
I certainly can't talk anymore about football.